Hey, what the hell is going on with you and your face? Look out for the face patrol. They come out sometimes and take your face. I've heard about the face patrol. They don't fuck around, man. They look at your face and go, we're taking it. And if you got a good face, they'll take it. So hide that face, because the face patrol is looking for the face. Sounded like Bill Cosby there for a second. Oh, God. Well, that's a really great way to open the video there. How you doing? I sound like Bill Cosby. Would you like something to drink? All right. Hi. My name is Nick Digilio. You can tell because I have really bad hair. Yes. I walk around in public with this. People feel sorry for me. They look at me and they go, look at that guy's fucking hair. Hi. Hey, listen. Thank you for checking out my YouTube channel. There's like 145 videos or more. Scroll down, look at them. There's movie reviews and stories and jokes and tales and ridiculousness and all kinds of fun. So please check it out, rate and talk about it and leave your comments. All that shit. If you're watching me on Patreon and you're not a patron, it's like watching PBS and not paying. So that's what you should do right now. Patreon.com/NickDShow. Make a monthly donation. It's $3. What is that? Box of Pringles and a Coke a month? You can afford that. It'll help me out. Helps me keep the videos going, telling the stories, doing all the cool stuff. Patreon's a great page, and it helps a lot of artists and people out to do cool things. So please, help me out. Patreon.com/NickDShow. Donate today. All right. Hey, the big tentpole summer movie, the big summer movie season started a week and a half ago when Tom Cruise's new sequel, 36 years in the making, Top Gun Maverick, came out, and it sucks ass. Yeah, the big summer movie releases are out, and it was all kicked off with the big Top Gun Maverick, the sequel that nobody wanted, but apparently they did because it's making $47 trillion a week. It's a piece of crap. It is terrible. But people seem to be sucked into it because 70% of the people who are going to see this movie haven't been to a movie theater in probably 2 years and think that things that are loud and big and stuff that explodes is great. Like, oh, I haven't been to a movie theater in 2.5 years, so this must be good because there's a jet in it and it's loud. And oh, there's a much prettier girl in this movie than there should have been because the girl from the original movie is now overweight and she's in her late 60s. You can't have her in the movie. You gotta have skinny Jennifer Connelly, who is like 10 years younger than Tom Cruise. Yeah, that's right. One of the many offensive, stupid pieces of shit ingredients that mix up to become Top Gun Shitterick. Anyway, that was the big one, and now the other big tentpole has coming out this Friday, and that is the new Jurassic World motion picture. And it's called Jurassic World Dominion. So that's the new one that everybody's looking forward to. It'll make $40 billion. Everybody will go see it on the big screen, and they'll be like, ooh, it's loud! Dinosaurs! I've never seen anything like that in 2.5 years because I've been inside the house and I haven't been to a movie, and now I think anything that's on the big screen is good. And yes, the same thing is going to happen. This movie is going to make $1 trillion. People are going to go see it, and they're going to like it by default. Because again, people haven't gone to a lot of movies. They haven't gone to many movies. And if you have gone out to a movie, you haven't seen many of them. So you forget that what requires a movie to be good. The pandemic has not only been a horrible thing in the world, but it's also erased the memories of many moviegoers as to what makes a good movie. Because at this point, you want anything. And I understand that. You've been stuck inside the house. You haven't been to a big movie theater or an IMAX or the Dolby Cinema. You haven't been to a big tent pole summertime extravaganza movie. So you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Because you just haven't seen anything. And you walk into the theater and you're like, oh, wow, look at the big seats. Look at the big screen. I'm eating popcorn. I'm with a whole bunch of people in a big theater. This is great. And then whatever they put on the screen that's sparkly or loud or shiny and handsome boys with their shirts off or pretty girls, or things that explode or go fast or monsters or, oh, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. No, it's not. You haven't been to a movie theater in 3 years. Movies are still shitty. They're not good because you haven't been in a movie theater for a long time. You can't use that as criteria. You actually have to talk about, you have to actually, decide whether a movie is good based upon little things, like a script and directing and acting, those little things. But they don't seem to matter as long as the people who have been stuck inside a cave for 2.5 years are like, ooh, big, loud, I like. Same shit happens in this Jurassic World Dominion. This is as dumb and as stupid a multi-million-dollar blockbuster tentpole piece of shit chapter that you can possibly get. Now, let me preface this by saying, I'm not a fan of any of the Jurassic Park movies or the Jurassic World. I don't even give a shit what the difference is between the two. Apparently, the Jurassic Park movies are a completely different thing than the Jurassic World movies. They're all the same to me. It's a bunch of dipshit, underwritten characters running around scared of different kinds of dinosaurs. That's it. That's all they are. There's no big difference between it's all underwritten, one-dimensional characters going, we need to stop the big Tyrannosaurus Rex, or there's a raptor or a pterodactyl. It's all the same shit. It's poorly written, one-dimensional, idiotic characters running away from CGI dinosaurs. That's all these movies are. There's nothing else about them. Now, having said that, I thought the first Jurassic Park was a piece of shit. Didn't like it at all. I've never read the book, so I can't, attest to that. I remember seeing the movie, thinking it was shit. Groundbreaking special effects, yes. And what we see in movies now, like every movie ever in terms of like the use of CGI and partial animation and, the combination of practical effects and CGI and computers, yes, groundbreaking in that department. That, of course, has pros and cons, okay? And some of them are cons, meaning that we have relied on that CGI stuff way too much, and it sucks the soul out of a lot of movies, and it did it in Jurassic Park, the original. And Jurassic Park just turned out to be a stupid movie about a bunch of stupid people and some cool dinosaur special effects. Not particularly good. I didn't care about anybody in it. Spielberg made 2 movies that year. I didn't like either of them. It was that and Schindler's List. Didn't like either of them. It was at a time when I was like at the lowest in my opinion of Steven Spielberg, and I don't obviously have the hugest opinion of Steven Spielberg. I think he's massively overrated as a director, and it didn't do anything for me. But it made $40 quillion. Everybody around the world went apeshit. And then the sequel came out 4 years later, 1997. The sequel was The Lost World, which I prefer much more than the first one. The second Jurassic Park, Lost World, although it's not a good movie, it's a vast improvement over the stupidity of the first movie, and it's much more clever. Some of the suspense sequences and special effects sequences, much more imaginative. It's got more humor. There are allusions and tributes to like Godzilla and any of the other giant monster movies. And then the third one, the only reason the third one is even passable is because it's only 90 minutes long. And like people get killed by dinosaurs in the first 10 minutes. And then I guess the next one was 2015 when they revived it as the Jurassic World, and the original cast members were not in it. And it was revived with Bryce Dallas Howard and Chris Pratt. And it sucked. That's all I remember. Chris Pratt does this a lot to dinosaurs, and he can hypnotize them or some shit. Then the second sequel to that, or the fifth of the series, Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. That's the only one I actually legitimately like. That's the only one I like, was the last one. It was directed by J.A. Boyena, who did Orphanage and A Monster Calls. Terrific director, great director. He did a really nice job with it. He made it weird. He turned it into a gothic horror movie. The last 45 minutes of the movie is like a gothic horror, sort of Frankenstein, hammer horror, gothic kind of thing. And that's the vibe he brought to it. But the most entertaining, by far the best made, the best directed, the most entertaining, the craziest, and the most original of all of them. And now we're back to Jurassic World Dominion. And this brings together the cast of the first 3 movies, or at least the original, the big original one, with the cast of these new movies together. In an attempt to cash in on everything, which seems to be in an attempt to be meta, which of course every other goddamn week a meta stupid movie comes out that is all fan service and screen service and oh I remember that, and we all turn into the grapes. Everybody, the movie companies now consider moviegoers now to be the grapes from South Park. Remember that? Remember this? Remember that? They don't bother to write a script. They just remind you of shit. That stupid, awful, fucking Spider-Man movie, that's all that movie is reminders of other things, making everybody feel safe. Meta this, let's bring back that. Scream was the same thing. Same shit. Top Gun does it, and this new movie does it as well. Everybody, as long as it has little Easter eggs and little reminders to make people remember other movies, everybody's fine. People don't bother to write scripts anymore. It's just, it's ridiculous. The whole meta fan service bullshit. It's making everybody lazier, filmmakers dumber, and audiences stupid. And audiences, just accepting anything as being entertainment. The fact that Spider-Man movie made like over $1 billion at the box office is an indication of how stupid moviegoers are nowadays, and just how much filmmakers and writers and screenwriters don't give a shit. And they clearly don't give a shit now because they can put anything on screen and people will see it because of meta, because of fan service, and because so many people have been stuck inside, for 3 years. And now anything they put up on screen, people will go, oh, I remember I used to like that. And oh, that is big and loud and shiny. I have not been to a movie theater in 13 years. Oh, I have been stuck inside. I've been to 2 movies in 4 years. So those 2 movies are great. They're not great. They're not. It's fan service. It's bullshit. It's lazy. You haven't been to a movie in 3 years and they're making you feel comfortable. That's it. You know what? Demand more. So anyway, this Jurassic World thing, Dominion. Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard, they're a couple now, and there's a kid that was like a fake kid, synthetic girl, that the only kind of thing I liked about it is like they kind of turned it into a Frankenstein movie, the last one. They saved her, and now they live in the wilderness, and now in the world, at the beginning of the new movie, everything is, by the way, there might be a couple of spoilers in this. There might be a couple of spoilers. I don't know. Because I don't know what a spoiler is and what isn't when it comes to these movies. Because I don't remember anything about any of them. And I don't give a shit. So I might say something during this that might be considered a spoiler because I don't know if it's a spoiler or not. Because I don't remember any details or anything from any of the other movies. So if I say something that might be a spoiler, I'm going to warn you now. Because I don't know. I don't care. I don't give a shit. I'm just going to tell you what I think about the movie. And some of what comes out of my mouth might be a spoiler. But I wouldn't know, because I don't know what a spoiler is for these dumbass things. So I'm just warning you. There might be spoilers. So anyway, in this, that now, at the beginning of the movie, through like an internet report or something that you can see on your phone or on the internet, there is a summation of what's been happening, like a news service telling you pretty much where we are. The island or the isle was destroyed at the end of the last movie, and now all the dinosaurs live with us. We cohabitate with the dinosaurs. There are now dinosaurs flying around in big cities. There are pterodactyls on top of the Empire State Building. They're running around in the middle of highways. So we are living with dinosaurs now. They are part of our lives. You walk outside right on a main street, open up the door, and there's a whole bunch of pterodactyls running around, or a whole bunch of other fucking dinosaurs. So we are now living with the dinosaurs in our environment. We are sharing the world with the dinosaurs. And it's not going very well, and they're trying to do something about it. So there's this company called Biosyn. Geez, I wonder if they're bad. The company's name is Biosyn, and it's headed by Campbell Scott. Geez, I wonder if Campbell Scott's going to be the bad guy. Anyway, they're fucking around with DNA, and they're trying to control the dinosaurs. And so Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard, they're in hiding. They're in a cabin with the little Frankenstein girl, the synthetic girl, and dinosaurs, and they're living out in a hut with dinosaurs. And Chris Pratt's riding around on horses, trying to rope dinosaurs. That's what happens at the beginning of the movie. Meanwhile, Sam Neill from the first movie, I don't remember who he was or what he did. He's a doctor. I guess he's a paleontologist. I don't know. At the beginning of the movie, he's digging up bones. Laura Dern is an environmentalist or some shit. And Jeff Goldblum is the weirdo scientist guy. He's the weirdo in every movie. And he is working with this biosyn company and giving lectures and selling books and blah, blah, blah. So all of these characters come together because there are these giant locusts that are flying around, the DNA of which has been meddled with by this company called biosyn. And the giant locusts are flying around the entire world. They're giant, and there are swarms of them, millions and millions and millions of these giant locusts who are eating up all the crops and about to cause the end of the world. All of the crops are being eaten, all the food that we eat, all the food that the animals eat. We're all going to die because a bunch of giant locusts released by an evil corporation called biosyn are eating everything up, and it's the end of the world. The giant locusts are going to kill us all. So bring in Laura Dern to try to help out. Bring in Sam Neill. They go to Biosyn Village, which is the corporation, the evil corporation headed by Campbell Scott, who are doing all the experiments on the locusts and causing the end of the world. They also have a whole bunch of dinosaurs that they're keeping in their little hut, their little houses. There are a whole bunch of dinosaurs, and they're doing experiments on the dinosaurs. So take the original cast from the Jurassic Park movie, team them up with Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard, add a couple of new characters, and it's another adventure where they go to Biosyn Village to battle the dinosaurs and to find out how they can stop the evil giant locusts from eating the world. But B.D. Wong shows up for a paycheck. Well, basically everybody shows up for a paycheck. And they add a couple of new characters who are uninteresting and underwritten. The most interesting of which is played by Demanda Wise, who plays a badass a pilot who hauls things, dinosaurs and people and all kinds of shit to the Biosyn evil island, and she's added to the mix and does a lot of action scenes in it with Chris Pratt and blah blah blah. So she's the most dynamic and interesting and coolest of everybody in the movie. And then everybody else just shows up for a paycheck. They do a lot of this. Chris Pratt does a lot of that. They have whatever catchphrases the characters used to have, and I don't know any of them. I don't remember any of them. They say their catchphrases. They all look at each other. There's knowing glances. There are Easter eggs and jokes, apparently, for people who remember the other movies, because the audience that I saw it with, there was a small portion of people who were laughing at shit that I had no idea what was going on. Certain lines were like, ha, ha, ha. So I guess that was a callback, because that's all we do now, is we go to movies and we get callbacks to other movies. So it makes us feel like the movie's good, even though it's not. As I've said a million times, it's shit. So anyway, all that goes on, and then it builds up to a giant climax, and they have to get the DNA of the locust, and B.D. Wong can change the course of humanity. He can fix the locust problem. The dinosaurs they're hurting, they're trying to kill the dinosaurs and blow up all the dinosaurs, but the dinosaurs are nice, and Bryce Dallas Howard and Chris Pratt are trying to save the dinosaurs, and they're trying to save a baby dinosaur who is friends with the mother dinosaur who lives in the forest, and they're going to bring the baby dinosaur and the synthetic girl who's learning about herself back to land and save everybody and blah, blah, blah. So the plot's a bunch of horse shit. Again, it's not really a plot. It is callback meta bullshit. There are 9 million ridiculous, completely predictable complications that happen during it. No suspense, no characters. Everybody is one-dimensional. You're supposed to know who they are based upon the fact that you've seen the other movies, and I've seen the other movies, and I don't remember anything. Now, this might be a spoiler that I'm about to say. Here's how much I don't remember or care. Not only do I not remember anything about the movies, but I don't fucking care. Like, I hated the first movie. The only thing I remember about the first movie is that Newman from Seinfeld is in it. And when I saw the first movie 30-something years ago, back in 1993, I never watched Seinfeld. I didn't start watching Seinfeld till after it was canceled. I was very, very late to the party on Seinfeld. Didn't start watching Seinfeld till like 99 or 2000. So at least 2 years after it was canceled. So during that whole stretch of the 90s, I never watched Seinfeld, ever. And so I remember seeing the movie, and Newman, Wayne Knight, is in it. And I remember a crowd going, "Hey, Newman!" and then laughing. And I had no idea what that meant back in 1993. I was like, I don't know what that means. Because I didn't watch Seinfeld. I didn't know who Newman was. I knew Wayne Knight as the guy from Basic Instinct, the creepy guy from Basic Instinct, and he was in JFK. And he was in a couple of other movies. But I didn't know Newman. So when somebody screamed out Newman and the theater laughed, I didn't know what the fuck that meant. So I just remember that. I remember afterwards going, why did somebody yell Newman? They're like, what do you mean, why did somebody yell Newman? Hey, man, that's Newman from You Don't Watch Seinfeld. This is 1993, where it was illegal to not watch Seinfeld. And I was like, I don't know what Newman, I don't know what that's the guy from Basic Instinct. I don't know. So anyway, that's the only thing that I remember from the movie. I don't remember plot details. I don't remember what. I don't care. I don't care. I remember it here's what I remember the most about, besides Newman being in it and them making a comment. I remember it turns into like a summer camp stalker movie. It turns into like a Friday the 13th movie with the Raptors being Freddy or Jason. With the Raptors being Jason. They should have had hockey masks on. I just remember like the last 45 minutes of the movie going, now this is a slasher movie. These Raptors are like, they're Jason. Kids are hiding in, I remember them hiding in like shelving units or some shit in a kitchen. And they're being stalked. It became, like I was watching, I'm like, Spielberg has made a highfalutin, pretentious slasher movie. He would never admit to that. Oh, God forbid a filmmaker like Steven Spielberg admit to the fact that he was influenced by a movie like Friday the 13th, but he was. I just remember walking out going, wow, a highfalutin, stupid, pretentious, highbrow Steven Spielberg Friday the 13th slasher movie. Instead of Jason, it's fucking Raptors. But that's what that movie was, and it was just as stupid as any of those movies. So I don't remember anything. So there's a part in this new movie, and the new movie sucks. It's loud. You'll love it. If you've seen all the movie, you'll love it. There's dinosaurs in it. They go, ah, and people go, ah, and shit blows up, and there's planes crash, and people run, and there's ice breaking, and they fall under, and they shoot some guns, and there's flares. There's giant locusts on fire flying around. There's T-Rexes, and so there's a lot of loud shit to keep you happy. It's in Dolby. You'll be fine. You'll be happy that you spent $16 on an incredibly stupid, loud, idiotic. You'll be fine. If you don't care, you don't demand anything, just enjoy it. It's loud and stupid. It's fine. You'll like it. But here's how much I don't give a shit or don't remember anything about these fucking movies. Late in this movie, and again, spoiler, late in this movie, Campbell Scott in his office, he's got a can of shaving cream, okay? Of the Barisol or shaving cream, and they they keep showing it like it was a close up of a can of shaving cream, and they keep showing it Barbasol. They keep showing this can of Barbasol, and like he grabs it, and they keep showing close ups of it, and I'm like, wow, this guy really cares about shaving cream. This shaving cream is very important to this guy, and apparently this shaving cream is very important. And I don't know anything about it because there's no reference to it earlier in the movie, in this new movie. There's no reference to it. But suddenly, like in the last half hour of the movie, this can of Barbasol shaving cream becomes very important. Like he grabs it, bunch of close-ups. By the way, this is from the director of The Book of Henry. That's all I have to say. You don't know The Book of Henry? Look it up. The Book of Henry. The director of The Book of Henry. He also directed another one of the Jurassic World movies, which also sucked. This guy's terrible. Look up The Book of Henry. And then try and defend this movie against that. Anyway, so there's a can of Barbasol in it. And everybody was, they keep showing it close-ups and all that stuff. And then, I don't know. So there's a can of Barbasol, and there's a scene that involves another can of Barbasol, and it becomes a big thing. And I didn't know. I was like, wow, this shaving cream is very important to this guy. Wow. So I had no idea what the can of Barbasol was, why everybody was so intrigued by it. Why there was a killing scene involving the can of Barbasol. And then when it was over, when I was walking out, I had to ask somebody else because I don't know. I don't care. Why the fuck would I remember a can of Barbasol from a Jurassic Park movie? Why would I even why would that take up space in my brain? Why? So I asked somebody as we were walking out, I'm like, hey, I don't understand. What was so important about the can of shaving cream? And then the fan went, what? What do you mean you don't remember the can of shaving, the Barbasol? And then explained to me, from the first movie what it meant. So evidently the Campbell Scott character has a 34-year-old can of Barbasol in his house or in his office. It's supposed to be the same can of Barbasol. And I guess it involved the scene with Newman and whatever the dinosaurs are that open up wings and go, ha, and spit shit at you. I don't know what those dinosaurs are called. I don't give a fuck. But anyway, so yeah, this is how much I don't know or care. I had no idea that a can of Barbasol was so important to the plot of the Jurassic Park movie. So That's how much I don't know. So, yes, take with this what you will. I don't know anything about the Jurassic Park movies. I don't care. You know why? Because they're not good. This latest movie is shit. It's crap. It'll make $1 billion. It sucks. It moves quickly. I will say that. It's 2 hours and 30 minutes long, but it does move fast. I will give it that. It's not boring. It's completely stupid. It's completely derivative. There's not an original bone in its body and not one character that is not just a shadow of a human in it, but it does move quickly, at least. It's not boring. It's shit, but it's not boring. So, again, what can I tell you? When I was a kid, I loved dinosaurs. I did. And I technically, I probably should have loved the Jurassic Park movie, but I didn't. And then I realized maybe it's not so much that I loved dinosaurs when I was a kid. I did, but it was just Godzilla. I discovered I didn't look up books and study dinosaurs because of dinosaur movies. I liked them. I thought they were cool. But once I got into the Japanese films, once I got into the kaiju movies, real dinosaurs or historical dinosaurs or studying the dinosaurs that may have existed or did exist in this world, like your T-Rexes and all the real dinosaurs that people love historically, I dropped that shit. I didn't care about it anymore. For me, it was all about Godzilla and Mothra and all the other kaiju monsters. So my fascination with dinosaurs lasted about this long. My love of kaiju will last forever. So, and this is not a kaiju movie, please. These movies, these Jurassic Park, Jurassic World movies, they're not kaiju movies. They wish they were kaiju movies, but they're not. So anyway, I hated the new Jurassic World Dominion movie. The audience I saw it with, I think they were mixed on it. Some people loved it. A lot of people were like, whatever. I guess that's the end of the movies, and I'm fine with that. Everybody took a paycheck. Every single actor in this movie, the returning actors especially, and Jeff Goldblum just doing, I'm Jeff Goldblum and I point. There's a lot of Jeff Goldblum wearing weird glasses, doing weird Jeff Goldblum line readings and pointing. There's a lot of pointing. And then everybody else just shows up. And it's really weird to see this movie a few weeks after seeing Inland Empire on the big screen. To go from watching Laura Dern in David Lynch's brilliant Inland Empire, giving one of the greatest performances of her career, and then watching her take the paycheck on this, kind of depressing. Sam Neill shows up, looks great. The only thing I remember about Jurassic Park was Sam Neill was in it, and I was like, yeah, okay, instead of seeing this, why don't you go see The Piano? Because The Piano came out the same year as Jurassic Park, and I kept telling people, fuck Sam Neill in Jurassic Park, go see Sam Neill in The Piano, because, that's like a real movie, like real cinema. So, anyway, enjoy the paychecks, cast members. It'll make $1 billion. Look, it's loud, there's stuff, and that's enough for you. You're good with it. I don't know. It's shit. Jurassic World Dominion, I guess it's over. Good riddance.